I've got to say, one of the things that struck me the minute I walked in the room today was this tremendous sense of community. And I find this wherever I go and wherever I work with the people who are here from Nepal, people of the Nepali diaspora, who have made the United States their home, but who still care about the country of their birth, the country that has shaped them and defined them. For me, the opportunity to be with you today is a wonderful thing, but even better than that has been the opportunity in the past months to engage Nepal once again. As many of you know, I was the ambassador to Nepal. Years ago, I was the Nepal desk officer in the State Department. And throughout this time, over the span of 34 years in the Foreign Service, I kept intersecting with Nepal. And my thoughts and my heart would keep coming back to this nation. And we know, of course, it's a beautiful country. And that beauty captures the eye. And we know as well that it's a rich it has a rich cultural heritage, diverse cultural heritage. And that heritage engages our mind. But then again, we also have the people of Nepal. And what we find time and again, for so many of us who have spent time in your country, it's the people of Nepal who engage our hearts. And that endures. So for me, the opportunity, when I retired on November 30th of last year, to, on December 1st, begin to work on behalf of Nepal, that was a tremendous opportunity. Right now, I'm heading something called the Soarway Foundation. I don't have a fancy PowerPoint presentation to give you today. I'll hang around, I'll give you my card if you want to go to our website, and we'd like you to go to our website, we'd like you to go to our Facebook page, and I'd like you to like the page. We're trying to build an audience to spread a message, and that's good. But you know, I'm here to talk about Soarway. We've heard from the Gorkali Foundation. We've heard about Mission Rebuild Nepal. Let me tell you, first of all, the Soarway Foundation is so proud to be a partner with MRN. We have donated, we're really truly happy to do this. We've helped build 10 houses. I hope we're going to be adding to that list shortly. We'll talk about how we might do that in a few moments. But as we at Soarway look to say, who are we going to partner with? How will we do this? We are always looking for organizations exactly like MRN. Organizations that are committed to doing something that makes a difference today in Nepal, to changing lives, to touching lives. Organizations that are committed, as you have heard them say time and again, to transparency, and to accountability, to doing it right. Because not every organization does that. So as we did our due diligence, we saw in MRN exactly the sort of partner that we wanted to work with. You're welcome, Ashok. And I was directed to MRN by someone who was mentioned earlier today, Dr. James Joshi in Pittsburgh. And this is the thing that's wonderful as we engage, and this is what we can do together. We can build these partnerships. You don't have to be in the Northern Virginia area to care about MRN. You can care no matter where you are in Washington State, in California. You can make a difference. We, at Soarway, we have worked, for example, with Empower Nepal Foundation in Minnesota to send a medical mission to the Tsum Valley. We've worked with Mission Rebuild Nepal to help build those 1,000 transitional shelters. We're working with the Nepal Youth Foundation to help children who were orphaned in the earthquakes. We're working with Mighty Nepal, and many of you know Anuradha Didi, who has made a life's mission of saving girls who were at risk of being trafficked into sexual bondage. And we are working with all of these organizations and more with the Nepal Ambulance Society. And it's great, I think it's great that the Gorkali Foundation has given an ambulance. It will be even better, though, as we help to expand the Nepal Ambulance Society, because they're building the cadre of skilled emergency medical technicians to be part of that ambulance crew and to save lives. On every level, every day, we see more opportunities for partnership and more opportunities for growth. On Tuesday, I'll be up in Pittsburgh, and we'll be meeting with the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center and with Carnegie Mellon University to discuss a very robust and very promising telemedicine program that we want to bring to Nepal. I learned the other day, and we are going to be exploring an opportunity to compete at least for a grant There could be $50 to $80 million for cultural preservation in Nepal. All of these things bringing us together. And I could ask you for money too, and sure I would. Gorkali Foundation would ask you for money. Mission Rebuild Nepal is asking for money. We all do this. But we're all here together not because we're competing with each other. I don't win if I get money that might go otherwise to Mission Rebuild Nepal. They don't win if they get money that might come to us. We all win. We're all working towards a common goal. And this is what I have found. So when I started at the Sorway Foundation, the question I asked was, can we make a difference? What's one more foundation? What can we do? But as I started to talk to people in your community, in the Nepali communities across this country, I found many of the same questions that you asked. We want to help, but where do we send our money? Can we trust them? Will it get stolen? We know there's corruption. We know there's challenges. What can we really do? And as we talked to people, we found as well that someone down in Austin, Texas, doesn't know what the Empower Nepal Foundation is doing, doesn't know what the Rocky Mountain Friends of Nepal are doing, doesn't know what Mission Rebuild Nepal is doing, and we hope at Sorway we can become that collaborative platform where we all can engage together, share information, not work in lockstep, but work towards common goals to build a stronger, a safer, a more resilient Nepal that is better able to weather the seismic storms of the future. And this is the other point, ladies and gentlemen. When we created the Sorway Foundation, it was created before I even retired. I was still ambassador in Uganda at the time. But we created it with the idea in mind that we had to continue work that my wife and I were very actively engaged in during our time in Nepal as ambassador. And that was the work of preparedness, of preparing for the earthquake that we knew was inevitable. We knew that the work that we did then to build for a future, to save lives, that was going to matter. The time to engage, the time to say, oh my God, this is horrible after the earthquake, after thousands of people are dead, that is not the time for us to step forward. The time to step forward is now, when we have a chance to save those lives. This was the message that we believed in when we were there as ambassador, and it's a message I still believe in today. And this is the other thing that I hope we can help to do through the Sorway Foundation, is to build these partnerships that will help us to address critical issues and challenges that lie ahead. Certainly it is important that we respond to the needs of all of these communities, whether in Gorkha or Sindhupal Chowk or in Rasuwa, wherever it may be. They need our help. They were devastated by the earthquake. But we need to remember as well all those other communities that we have to work with today to strengthen them, to prepare them, to help them to weather the shocks of the next quake. Because there will be another one, and we know that as well. So this is what we seek to do, to work together, to build a difference for Nepal, to make a difference for the future, to help the people of Nepal, to work in partnership with them to create a future that people can face with confidence rather than fear. So that's what we all seek to do. That's the good work they do at MRN, at Gorkali, at the Sorway Foundation, and elsewhere. So I'm not going to give you the big pitch, but I will ask you, go to our website, go to our Facebook page, look at what we're doing, and I will mention two things that we're doing at the moment, though, because we do want to try to build an awareness about Nepal. And this is in part because the ambassador invited us on Friday night. We were at an event to promote tourism in Nepal. And we know as well, ladies and gentlemen, that the future of Nepal, risk reduction and preparedness, isn't just building a strong house or a strong school. It's about building strong communities and a strong society, and that means growing the economy as well. And tourism is the backbone of that economy. So, one of the things that we're going to do, and I hope we might get some of you to support this, is we are sponsoring 12 to 15 wounded heroes. Military veterans, but not exclusively military veterans. One, I hope, will be a young woman who was injured in the Boston Marathon bombing, who is rebuilding her life with her prosthetic limb, who knows that heroism isn't just what we do on a battlefield, It's how we live our lives. It's the courage and the strength and the commitment we bring every day. But these wounded warriors, some of whom have served our nation and suffered on the battlefield, and these other wounded heroes, we want to send them to Nepal in the Soarway Foundation. We're, like everybody else, we're a 501c3 charitable trust that's tax deductible, but we're trying to raise the money so that these folks can go to Nepal on a trek of a lifetime to demonstrate to themselves in part what they are capable of, and to know that they are not defined by their physical limitations, but by what they have in their hearts. But it is also an opportunity to say to the world, A, if these guys can trek in Nepal, anybody can trek in Nepal. Nepal is open for business. We need to rebuild tourism, and we can tap into a huge market of people who face physical challenges and who are looking for these opportunities. And we want to open the accessible tourism market in Nepal in a robust way that will truly make a difference. And in the process, we know there are 500,000 people in Nepal, probably more after the earthquake, though we don't have the new numbers yet, who suffer physical disabilities and whose opportunities to contribute fully to the society, to help make Nepal that stronger nation, are still constrained. And if we can help to change attitudes through sending these folks on this trek, and we're working with the Research Institute of Chicago in order to bring a mobility resource center to bring orthopedic care more broadly to the people of Nepal as well. I think this is an endeavor worth doing, and to help promote tourism. And the other thing I will mention to you, because you might all be interested, and I hope we're going to see you there, is we are also going to be bringing, in the next month, we're bringing Sursuta. How many of you know Sursuta? All right, I see a few hands, and those who don't, you better get to know Sursuta. Sursuta is one of the premier classical music groups, of course, in Nepal today. We fell in love with their music while we were there. These are tremendous musicians. We hope to bring a few surprise partners with them as well, but we'll see how that all works out. But they're going to come to perform concerts here in the DC area, DC, Baltimore, Boston, Texas. We're going to do a couple down in Texas. We're going to hit New York. We're going to go to Pittsburgh because we've got great partners there, and in Minnesota and in Colorado. So please help us spread the word. That's why I need you on our Facebook page. I need you on our website. Help us to spread the word. Help us to build an audience. We want to build an awareness of Nepali culture, Nepali music, and in the process raise the funds that we need to continue to do this good work on behalf of the people of Nepal. So again, please take a look at us, www.soarway.org. How's that? Late night music for us now. And now, for some mellow silence, I'm going to turn it back over to Madam and all the rest of our colleagues in the mission to rebuild Nepal. But again, to you, thank you for your commitment, thank you for the difference you're making, and thank you for the tremendous work you do, and for bringing us all together. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers.